Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see here on our channel, on our website, or on my social media. Reach out to me directly at tmosso@thewatchbox.com. And today we're discussing a watch that was released in 2017. It's the Ball Engineer Hydrocarbon Aero GMT2, a big watch with a big name. Technically 42 millimeters, and yet I measure the edge of the bezel more like 45. Be advised, that's how it wears. The timepiece is reasonably slim at 14 millimeters thick for what it is, and as you can see, it features a camber to the case that helps it to wear well, but it is broad. There's no getting around the fact that lug-to-lug it's 53.4 millimeters, and end-link to end-link it's a mighty 56.7 across the wrist with a 21 millimeter lug spacing. Now, throw it on my wrist, 16 centimeters in circumference. I have to say it sits comfortably, and that's all down to the shape of the case, because though it's broad lug to lug, it's that tonneau-like form that causes it to wear like a smaller watch. And make no mistake, the timepiece is thinner than you'd expect, as it will fit underneath the cuff, and you can really see that to advantage from this angle. Maybe not the tightest dress sleeves, but definitely a jacket. It's an all-arounder, and all the same, while it fits my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, I would say don't push it. 15 centimeters circumference is the lower limit for wearing this watch. And like I said, it's an all-arounder, so it's a timepiece that's versatile on a broad range of wrists, just not too small, and a broad range of applications, as Rolex pretty much made the rotating bezel sports watch an everyday office companion. The timepiece does include a lovely bracelet. I love reviewing Ball watches, not necessarily because they're always my style, but because I always get the sense that they're built with integrity. The quality is unimpeachable, handsomely made with a tapered bracelet, polished centers, and notice how everything is nicely rounded off and beveled on its side, including the flanking links. Removable links are fixed in place by screws, and you can see that there are two half links on each side of the bracelet for precise sizing. Then you have more adjustability built in with spring-loaded pin snaps and a EasyLink-like system. It's like Rolex's EasyLink. It's approximately, I would say, 10 millimeters on each side, because each side of the clasp has one of these micro adjusts. Now you'll also note that there are two divots drilled in each side, and these two divots allow you to re-anchor the bracelet on each side, so you get a lot of adjustability between full size and half links, the fold-out system on each side, and then the two individual divots in each side. The bracelet's held to the case with not one but two screw-fixed bars, so that thing is staying put. It's more expensive to use a screw-fixed bar than a spring bar, but it's the right way to do it on an expensive and heavy watch. The Patek 5990 should be so securely fixed. Now you can see one of the distinctive engineering flourishes of this watch, which is the crown protection system. And I have to admit, when I see something like this that looks a little bit fiddly with tiny moving parts on a big bold sports watch, I worry that it's not going to live up to the imagery. But the mechanism itself feels as solid as the watch. It's less like a small spring-loaded component and more like a component of a high-quality padlock, where I get the sense that it has an integrity and a solidity and a virtual indestructibility, especially once it's in place. Its purpose is to ensure that the screw-down crown is indeed screwed down, so that's hard to miss right there, whereas a crown that is partly screwed out, you could miss that. It's hard to dive or jump into the water with this thing fixed in place. Now, it is a screw-down crown. The watch is 100 meters water resistant, and this guard also has the happy effect of shielding the crown from all angles, like the Panerai crown guard. The bezel is bidirectional rotating with a wonderfully loud detent. Listen to this. This is a GMT bezel. It's about as sharp as such things get, and the Rolex 24-hour bezel, which is kind of the industry standard on the GMT, feels a little bit gummy compared to this. This feels as sharp as a dive bezel. Now, you see there's a 24-hour scale, so you can use that for judging the second time zone, which is that triangular skeletonized hand. You'll also appreciate that the cap is entirely sapphire, so like a Blancpain 50 Fathoms, the bezel, which is fully loomed, has a sapphire cap for scratch resistance. The dial features tritium lume, which means that it is a self-activating beta emitter in trasers, which are little glass capsules with a phosphorescent material and then the beta emitter to activate. No, there's no radiation hazard. And yes, it is self-activating, so you don't need to charge it up. It takes a little bit of time for your eyes to adjust to that kind of luminescence at night, but once adjusted, you're good to go, and it will not fade with hours in the dark. So you have the 24-hour hand, and then you have the local hour hand. You have a lovely counterweighted needle-style seconds hand with just the indicator itself in white, and you can see how the hands seem to float over the center of the dial, which is no-nonsense matte black with white calibrations. So this is a timepiece that is designed to be seen. Now you have both a quick set system for the date and a adjustment. Let me just make sure we're not in the date change zone right there. We're not. Most GMT systems like the Rolex, they actually force you to drive the date by turning the local hour hand. This works differently. You have a quick set for that 24-hour GMT hand, and then when you turn in the opposite direction with the crown in the intermediate position, you have a true quick set for the date. Now, the watch is a COSC chronometer adjusted in 5 positions and very accurate. The test is 2 weeks, and of course at 3 temperatures and 5 positions. The tolerances being -4 seconds per 24 hours plus 6, no worse, often better. So this is a very accurate movement. It's based on the ETA 28932, which is basically the 2892 with the GMT complication added. It beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour, and it has a 21 pivot jewel architecture, which means it's almost identical to the 2892 in that regard. So you've got your 42-hour bidirectional winding, automatic power reserve, your 4 Hz beat rate, your stop seconds, your 12 and 24-hour dual time, your quick set date, your COSC certification, and then on the reverse side, just to help you remember, you can see the GMT offsets of 24 major reference cities representing the 24 principal time zones of the world. So the watch lives up to its name of Aero GMT. Everything about this watch is physically imposing and technically impressive, and I love wearing it even though I'm right on the limit of wrist size. This is a timepiece that has it all and at an affordable price. Eyes closed, it feels as solid as Rolex. Eyes open, it's a bit more distinctive and far less generic. Email me, tmosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing. And I am back with the Ball Aero GMT2 Tritium Lume by Night.